Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce. Don't get that honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it tastes with my chicken wings. Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the butter spread. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the butter spread. To get your butter spread all on me. I don't like the way it mixes with my mac and cheese. Cause when you're at KFC, you got that special sauce to stir my curiosity. Just give me a 5-piece meal, oh what a deal. A big old box, it's all for me. You know I'll take coleslaw on the side. I could tell you wanted to try the potato wedges.
Good morning and welcome back to the trailer park. It would not be a Monday morning if we didn't have issues, and we had issues this morning. None of the YouTubes launched, and there was like 25 instances of the live stream, and Rumble launched the first time, but Rumble didn't launch the second time. But yeah, taste the biscuit, the goodness of the biscuit. I thought you guys would enjoy that. I had a lot more music, but since we're running late this morning, let me turn down a little bit. I think I'm yapping. Let me see where. Come on, stop. I haven't been in the studio in 2 weeks, so things are a little hanky this morning. But it really wasn't my fault. Restream did a reconfigure of the Restream this week or whenever, and can't they just leave well enough alone? Oh my God. Every time they update and change shit on all of these apps, including Google Drive, the slide updated, and there's all kinds of new features over there. Like, my brain can't handle it. Stop it. Good morning, chat. What's up? You guys like that? It was funny. Come on, that was funny. I've seen lots of TikToks where it's kind of taken out of context. Like when I asked my wife what she wants to do tonight, and it's all taste the biscuit. Too funny. Good morning. Yeah, share this link out. People are having a hard time finding me this morning. Ugh. We'll get it back together, I promise. I've been off for 2 weeks. You guys know I took the last 2 weeks kind of off. I mean, we did a dive on Wednesday. Did you join us for the dive? That was so much fun, having Sister Amber back. I love doing shows with Amber. And then Oz and I, Beauty and the Boomer. Of course, we will be back for Beauty and the Boomer on Saturday. Saturday, we'll be back. Where is... Here, let me get a background up here. Jeebus. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah. Micah Mechanics. Can you hear me running? These songs from the 80s, I forgot the lyrics. Oh my God, how fitting for right now, right? Like, I was listening to it last night. I was like, holy shit, that's really talking about what we're going through right now. We have so much to talk about. Oh my gosh, we have 2 weeks of stuff, but can I tell you guys, I don't miss social media when I walk away. Like, I got out in the garden a little bit the last 2 weeks. Not as much as I want to because my body won't let me. But I do not miss being on to X and watching the world burn. And I see we're back to dead babies. I woke up yesterday morning to a shit ton of dead Palestinian babies in my feed. Oh, that's always lovely on a Sunday morning. And of course, the tariff war that I think it might just be a distraction. Look over here. We're going to talk about all of it. We got lots to talk about, including the weather. The weather's being fucking crazy too. And let me shout the chat out. You guys are going off over here. Let's see. Popeye's in here. You got a wee bit of a headache? I'm sorry, Popeye. That sucks. Good morning, Jenny Lynn. Good to see you. D Taco Kid from Alamo Town. Hey, what's up? Fred Edwards found me. Thank you, Fred. Salty's Digital Dive. Salty, you were pretty salty about those biscuits. Granny don't know what you do to her biscuits. That's funny. Who else is in here? Mouse FS, good to see you this morning. Chris, how's Chris Algier? Good to see ya. And I got Jenny. Nat, what's up, Natalie? How's it going? Oh my God, the cat situation at my house is so insane. I just have so many cats now. They all moved in the winter, and what am I going to do? I'm going to feed them. They're here. Let's see. Grapevine was first in whatever chat. There was 20 chats up. I don't know. Kate, what's up, Kate? We're going to talk about logging. Trump just opened up logging in the Pacific Northwest, which I already knew because I've been watching the old growth leave the peninsula for the last couple of weeks. Jody, what's up, Jody? Good morning, Jody. Good to see you. What's up, lady? Steve Wolfbrandt. Good morning, Steve Wolfbrandt. Jenny Lynn was first into this chat. And Lady Alex. Good morning. Good to see you all. Shout out to Jack's page. I know she'll be watching later. A dingo ate me, baby. Dingo, you found me this morning. Good. I'm glad. Let's check the Rumble, see if it actually ever launched. I did. No, it didn't. I psyched myself for a second. Damn it. Anyways, wherever you're watching, good Monday morning. Don't freak out because the stock market's crashing. Just don't do it. Alberto, good to see you. I mean, stock up on some food reserves. Prices are going to get expensive, but you know. So we're going to skip all this give me money crap. I'm not in the mood this morning. Fair use. We are on YouTube. You guys know. It's so weird. I see so many people self-censoring, like the Virginia Dufresne, whatever her name is, the bruising on her face from her supposed car accident. A lot of people are like, oh, I can't show you that because of terms and policies on YouTube. But then a lot of other channels did. So, a lot of self-censoring going on YouTube. So I don't even know what to believe anymore. Like, can I show it? Can I not show it? You know me, I just run the fucking risk. And if I get hit, I get hit. But the problem with that is Oz gets punished for it too. Because then Beauty and the Boomer gets taken down. So the only reason I would self-censor is to protect Oz. It doesn't have shit to do with YouTube. Anyways, let me tell you about my weekend. This was Cold Fusion's birthday, 49th birthday. You know Cold Fusion from the chat, my partner in life. And I threw him a big surprise. His best friend that he games with, that he's never met in person, that he's gamed with for, I don't know, like 7 years or something, came all the way in 7 hours from Oregon with his family. And I told him I was going to take him to the Funko factory over in Everett, which is, it's a couple hour drive. You got to take a ferry and all that. So we got up super early in the morning and I was like, okay, let's get everything in the car, blah, blah, blah. And they'd made it to town the night before. They were at a hotel in our local town. And so I exited off the freeway and he's like, where the hell are you going? And I was like, oh, I got to pick something up that I had delivered for your birthday last night. Hold on. And then I go to the wrong hotel. So he's like, what the hell are we doing? He's like, did you get a room? Why would you get a room in town? And I'm like, no, hold on. And then I go to the next hotel and there they are. They're in the parking lot and they jump out. And it was so funny. So he was absolutely shocked. He was thrilled. They had never taken a ferry ride before. They brought their daughter. And it was a really good time. And if you don't know what Funko is these little toys right here. Now they make them for every genre, TV, music, gaming, cartoons, and you can make your own if you go to the factory. So there is Cold Fusions. He made his own pop. Of course, he's got the little kitty cat there because, he's got the kitties. And it looks just like him. I think it's adorable. He doesn't know I have it. I stole it from him this morning while he was sleeping. But I wanted to show you guys that. But he had a blast. And then we took him to the Olympic Game Farm the next day, which is this farm that was started up where we live with the Disney animals like Grizzly Adams and Charlie the Cougar. The trainer opened a farm locally, and you could drive through there and feed the animals. And they've got bears and big cats, tigers, and they were all sleeping. The tigers and kitties were all sleeping. But they have this one section that you can drive through that has elk and buffalo, and they come right into your car and they stick their big fucking heads in, and you can feed them bread. You can buy loaves of bread to feed them. And it's always just a freaking riot when those big old tongues come at you. I mean, I've got great video of it. I'm going to start cutting some of the video of it, but we had a blast. It was a good weekend, but it really wore me out. That, a couple 100-mile travel and, ferry rides, and then getting up early every day to get out there. So I'm worn out. And then I hit the ground yesterday, bright and show. So, and then this week is infusion week. So just when I start to get my energy back and I start to feel good, like, oh my God, I feel like myself again, bam, they knock me down with infusion again, and I'm back in bed for 2 weeks, and it sucks. It really freaking sucks, but I'm doing my best and trying to keep up with everybody. But happy birthday to Cold Fusion. I think he had the best birthday. I did throw him an amazing, amazing birthday, which is always fun, I think it's more fun to throw somebody an amazing birthday than to have an amazing birthday. Okay, let's get this show on the road. We got lots to talk about this morning. Good morning, lovelies. Here's to another day of bonding over bullshit, tolerating idiots, and keeping each other sane. And that's what we're here to do this morning. And no, put me back in the Matrix. I was just about to watch Trailer Park Pundit. That one's kind of staling out. We're going to have to get rid of it soon. Okay, let's talk the weather, because, we're not corporate media here. We don't make you wait till the end of the show to get the weather. We talk about the weather at the top of the hour. I don't know, it's at the top of the hour. Anyways, holy shit, the Midwest is just getting pummeled with all kinds of different shit. We got flooding and tornadoes, and there's so many deaths. I mean, I knew the count like 2 days ago, but it's just been so bad I can't even keep up with it. Check this out. This is Kentucky. This is a house just floating by in Kentucky. If you're out there in these areas, please be safe. Please watch the weather. Please know what's coming your way. It's so scary, and it happens so fast. So fast. The water rises so fast. I live right next to a river, and it doesn't flood that bad, but it has over, the last 100 years. So it's just so scary. There goes your house, Wow, look at that flooding. There's flooding all over the Midwest. I was looking today, and it's just, the Mississippi Valley, it always floods so bad. You finally saw some sun today again. We had beautiful weather all weekend, and now it's pouring here in the Pacific Northwest, but we were thankful to have such beautiful weather. Let's talk tornadoes. I just watched, I finally got Netflix back. You guys know I canceled Netflix for like 8 months. I did, because I was just like, fuck them. I'm just so over it, whatever. And then people kept telling me, you have to watch this, you have to watch that, you have to watch this. It's on Netflix, it's on Netflix. Finally, I was like, fine, I'll get Netflix back. Because I had watched everything on Max and, the channels at Prime. So I was like, okay, I'll get Netflix back. And then when I logged in, I was like, holy shit, there is a lot of stuff I haven't seen yet. So I watched Twister, the documentary about Joplin. Oh my God. The stories of the people who lived through that tornado that wiped out Joplin, just insane. If you like the destruction type of, TV, check that out, because it was very interesting. Check this out. Check this truck out. This is a brand new Dodge. This is in Arkansas, I want to say.
Oh my God.
Wow. Yeah, tornadoes scare the absolute fuck out of me too. But I'm a little obsessed with them too. Like, I've drove through Tornado Alley during tornado season, and the whole time I'm thinking, where would I go if a tornado started coming right now? When you're going through Kansas and, Oklahoma, and it's flat as can fucking be, and there's nowhere to run from it. I mean, you see overpasses, people run into overpasses. But if you're in your car, you're not safe. the window gets broken, you get sucked right out. I mean, you think that you'd be safe in your car, but you're not. You are absolutely not safe in your car. You're not safe anywhere when they come, especially if they're big. Like, yeah. Well, I used to live down south. We'd get them in Louisiana. And one time we went green. And if you know what going green is, that is fucking scary because everything turns this crazy hue of green and it gets dead calm. And that's right before your ass is about to get hit. And you need to find cover if you ever find yourself in a green hue like that. Shanda, holy shit, I just watched Joplin documentary the other day. It was good. Reminded me of Monroe tornado tragedy in my home state of Oklahoma. It was horrific. Yeah, these tornadoes, when they come in and they're freaking F4s, F5s, whatever they call them, holy fuck, yeah, you're by the grace of God that you're gonna live. I mean, and if it's gonna come for you or not. Check this one out. I mean, this is how you get impaled in these things. Look at how this beer bottle impaled this car. Look at that. Could you imagine if that was your skull? That's just crazy. Oh, man, that is so scary. Yeah, these are so scary. Yes, experienced that in Oklahoma. I've known a lot of people that have lived in Oklahoma. I've been to Oklahoma quite a few times, and yeah, there's just nowhere to hide. What's crazy about Baton Rouge and Louisiana is they get them, but you can't, there's no cellars. Nobody can dig a hole in Louisiana. It fills up full of fucking water. So the only place you have to hide is to get into the interior of your house, hopefully a bathtub. Like I had an old claw bathtub, one of those old, I lived in an old farmhouse, and all I could do was throw the kids in there. They were all little, thank God, and throw a mattress over us. I mean, that was the only course I had to try to protect us from tornadoes, but thank God we never actually got hit by one. They would hit the ditches. They like to ride the ditches, I guess, because of the water. So they would hit the ditches along the sides of us. And fortunately, I didn't live in a trailer park when I lived down there. I actually lived in a house, but very scary. Okay, moving on. That was the weather. Please be safe out there. Please know what's coming. Pay attention. A lot of people don't pay attention, or they get immune to them. That was the biggest thing I took away from that Joplin documentary was people were like, oh, the alarms go off all the time. The sirens are always going off. It's not a big deal. And it was a big deal. They didn't realize what was coming at them because they'd become so immune to the false, crying wolf type of thing. Like, just take every siren serious and make sure you know where that fucker is, where it's on the ground, and get away from it, man. Okay, so we saw a lot of stupidity around the country today, or this weekend. Thank God I missed it. I was going to take our friends to the granola town next to us, which is a really cool old mill town. Thank God he didn't, because there was hundreds of fools down there. And I'm saying fools. So it was the hands-off fucking coast-to-coast rally, anti-Trump, anti-Elon. Now, I just found this so useless. So it was a lot of the pink pussy hat wearing. What was accomplished by this? What was the goals of this? They say it was hands off Medicare and Social Security and our jobs and our wallets and our books. And it just, okay, so how are you facilitating that? And free speech. I remember Biden coming after all of these same fucking things. Where were you guys in those 4 years yelling about these same exact things? Free speech. Biden came for our free speech. Fair elections, our books, our wallets, our jobs, Social Security. Do we not recall Biden saying, I'm coming for Social Security? It's just, what a stupid show it was. And, I support the most current thing. That's what I see. And what makes me sad is we need this kind of mobilization in this country right now. We do. We need it for so many things. But just a generalization of TDS, because that's what it was. I saw crazy videos that I didn't even bring you guys. One lady had a strap-on, and she had a Donald Trump, and she was railing him up the ass. Like, are you kidding me? What does this accomplish? Does it make you feel better? I mean, it's not going to change anything. What are we going to rip Trump out of the White House and put Harris in there? I mean, it's just, the mental gymnastics that these people do. It makes me sad because we could actually use this type of mobilization to, I don't know, stop the bombing of Palestinian children, to get universal health care for all of us, to get tuition-free college for our kids, I don't know, affordable housing, like... What a waste of time and energy is what I saw. I did see some people out there utilizing it, and we'll talk about that. But check this out. This is Boston. Boston seemed to have the biggest turnout.
Here's a live look at Boston, Massachusetts now as we check back in on one of our top stories, anti-Trump protests taking place across the country today after a tumultuous week, to say the least. On Wall Street and the economy. We want to point out, just a few minutes ago, we did show you a protest. We said it was Boston. It was not Boston. It was an unrelated protest. But what you are looking at right
Way to
now
go, ABC.
is Boston. And I'm from there. I can recognize this. This is the plaza right outside of City Hall in downtown.
Okay, so what did they accomplish? What did they have any of their lawmakers there? The Dems are definitely going to utilize this. I'm sure they're sending out emails as we speak saying, give us money, we got to fight Trump. I just found it so useless. Here's another one. I can't remember where this one is. So, hey, the coexist people are burning shit again. Yeah, right. Okay, democracy of what? Your right to assemble, I support that. Your right to free speech, I support that. But crying wolf about Nazis is just, it's setting us back is what it's doing. You know, I feel like I was one of these people 10 years ago that would have showed up at a rally and just been there because it was a rally, but it's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. And it's exactly what they want you to do. They want you to spin your frickin' wheels. And you think Trump gave two shits? No, Trump's busy golfing. Come on, he's in Florida. He doesn't even care. Here is some more. It's so stupid. The stupid, it burns. Yes, it does burn. They've been totally conditioned. Yeah.
I airbrushed it, I designed it, I do my own makeup, everything.
I have no words. This is absolutely unbelievable. You're so very talented.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So were any of them talking about Palestine? Were any of them talking about the World War III and the fact that, we've been mobilized? No, because they want war. They want war. It was creative. I will give you that. Yes, it was creative. Okay, so here's the thing. The people out in these protests, they can't answer a simple question about basic politics. And that's the scary fucking thing. And they're all just being sheepdogged back into this seesaw of left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. So here we go again. We're going to swing back to the left because, oh my God, I fear for what the next presidential election is going to look like, because it's just going to be more of this. And this is why we can't break free. Because they're just conditioned into believing this. So listen to this guy's answers. He doesn't have any answers for anything.
What are we protesting today?
Donald Trump.
Well, what's Donald Trump doing that we're protesting?
Well, he is fucking up the American democracy right now and trying to kind of repeal a bunch of shit in the Constitution, like, rights and liberties. So,
is there anything in specific that he's...
I don't have all the information, but...
I don't have all the information.
Personally,
you should if you're
tyrants.
protesting.
I'm against tyranny. That's what I'm against.
We're all against tyranny, honey.
Somebody who's coming in and trying to take over the country and get rid of the rules and regulations that have existed for centuries to keep us
that have kept
safe.
us locked in.
And who do you think is doing that?
Currently, Donald Trump and Elon Musk and all of his cabinet members.
Why Elon Musk, though?
the Department of Government Efficiency. He was put in charge of a department that doesn't even exist before this, and he's not even an American.
Who's not an American?
Elon Musk.
Okay.
He's from South Africa. I don't know if you knew that.
How do you feel
I don't
about
know if
Donald
you knew
Trump?
that.
I
He
think
thinks
that
he got a
deserves to
one up
die.
on this guy. I'm
should
sure
what?
he knew.
Die.
Okay.
That's how I feel.
So who do you want to run America?
Yeah,
The
good
people,
question.
preferably.
You want the people to run America?
So
Like
stop
a
voting for
democracy should be.
Democrats.
Yes.
Do you feel like the people voted for him?
I think the people were fooled.
Fooled by who?
Him.
How?
I don't, dude.
False consciousness.
It's a what?
It's a false consciousness.
What do you
Oh,
mean
but
by
you
that?
don't have false
Okay, so
consciousness
the-
at
Can I
all.
see your sign?
Can you see it?
No, I'm sitting right here. No, to the camera, brother.
I'm
To
talking
the-
to you.
But I'm interviewing. I got a mic.
I don't care about that.
You decided to
I'm
talk.
here as an individual.
Individual.
I'm here as an individual.
Okay.
I'm talking to you as an individual.
Okay, well, I want to see the sign.
Read
If you have a sign.
Read the sign.
Okay, all right. What the sign say? What does the sign say? Hold on, brother. What does the sign?
You go out of your way.
All people are children
How about that?
of the earth.
Yeah, all people are children of the earth. Can you disagree with that? Can you disagree with
No, I
that?
can't disagree.
What do you got to say about that?
Can't disagree.
Me neither.
I love that, brother. Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
yeah. All people are
stupidity.
people of the earth. I love that, man.
They can't answer a simple question, not a simple policy. I mean, please, if you're going to, and I know a lot of my friends, too many, that went out and participated in this stuff. Now, if you're going to go out there, at least have a position that you can defend with some knowledge and some information that you can share with other people, or you're just wasting time. You're just an ornament for the Democratic Party or whatever, swaths of idiots that you're supporting, whether it be the pink pussy hat wearers, Hillary for America. They're all the same. It's the same people out there every damn time. Now, I did see a group that was out there utilizing this, and this is what Oz and I always say, especially if you live in a ballot initiative state. This is how we can change it at the local level and get it to the actual people, right? Take it to them on the ballot. That's how we do it. And whole Washington was out in the streets utilizing this, getting people signed up. Let's get universal health care on the ballot. They say ballot or bill. Let's do it. And this is what we talk about. Utilize it. Utilize it. If you're going to be out there, do it for something good. Don't just stand there with the I hate Trump sign. That's a waste of everybody's time and energy. TDS is taken over, and they did this with the pink pussy hatters, and they'll go away for a while. They always got to show their ass for a while, and then they go away. They felt like they did something, so I think that this was their big hurrah. Moving on, let's see what Bernie's been up to. What's Bernie been up to? So, Case Study QB says, discussing Bernie Sanders' interview, Money in Politics, there is a big part of the Democratic Party that is as addicted to big money as the part of the Republican Party that is addicted to Elon Musk. And Brianna Joy Gray, Bree says, true. So, why does your anti-oligarch tour promote the oligarch Democratic Party as a solution to the problem? Yeah, Bernie, why? Tell me why. You don't mention the oligarchs that are paying for the Democrats. You only mention the oligarchs that control the Republicans. And, we have one corporate party. There's two sides to it. And we just have team sports. And that's the people of America watch mainstream media, whether it be Fox or MSNBC, and then they choose their team. And that's who they root for. They don't know shit about what's actually going on and who's pulling the purse strings at the end of the day. It's so gross. Oz the Boomer, good morning. Oz the Boomer hanging out this morning. We made it, but it was a rough takeoff. It was rougher than a SpaceX launch. The U.S. is an oligarch. Yes, so you're helping us build a party that isn't owned by the oligarchs, right? Right, Bernie? No, Bernie's not going to do that. You know how I know? Because I flew my ass all the way to fucking Chicago. We built the infrastructure. We had it all set up for him. We had the regional managers. We had our outreach. We had email lists. We had all of the digital infrastructure that we would need to build an actual party of the people. And Bernie gave us the big finger. He refused to even acknowledge that we existed. And this was coming hot out of the 2016 election. Like, the people were still fired up. They were still charged up. They knew they had been ripped off in the primary in 2016, and they were pissed about it. They were ready to move to a third party. But Bernie got in line, just as the Democrat that he is. As much as he wants to tell you he's an independent, he is absolutely not. And, you know, I learned, Bernie taught me, you know, when you put your hand on the stove as a kid and you get burned once, you don't do it again. I'm not doing it again, Bernie. And I actually kept my hand over that stove all the way to 2020, hoping that Bernie could have enough inertia and energy to try to bulldoze the Democratic Party. But no, he came out with the Joe Biden's my friend bullshit. And that's when I knew. That's when I knew it was done. And then, of course, they had COVID because they were controlling everything with the mail-in ballots. And we knew in 2020 the Democrats were going to take it. So Obama's been out there. Obama's been like, can you imagine? What if I did these things? You did do these things. What the hell are you talking about? So let's see. It's that Bill Clinton says, my plan will cut waste and spending. Obama says, my plan will cut waste and spending. Doge is cutting waste and spending. And then you see a donkey say, Trump is a fascist dictator. I'm sure you guys have seen this clip. I'm going to run it here in a second. But I interestingly found one of those body language analysts on YouTube last night that analyzed this. And they think Obama is starting to slide into dementia because his movements, his, what do they call it, illustrations with your hands, do not match up with his mouth and his brain and what he's saying. That's so crazy. And can I tell you guys, I hate the TikTokers that have their hands constantly like, oh, it drives me crazy, especially ones with the big old freaking fake nails. And they're just like, oh, I don't know. It's just me. Is it just me? Tell me if it's just me. Anyways, let's watch Obama say, can you imagine if I did this? Please. What is this? Go away.
Imagine if I had done any of this. Let me just, I just want to be clear about this. Imagine that. Imagine if I had pulled Fox News' credentials from the White House press corps.
Crack will do that to you.
You're laughing, but no, this is what's happening.
You're laughing.
Imagine if I'd said to law firms that were representing parties that were upset with policies my administration had initiated, that you will not be allowed.
Oh, you had us all snowballed. That would have never happened. Oh, big dramatic pause.
Economically for dissenting from the Affordable Care Act or the Iran deal.
See how long it's taken him to think?
Students who protest against my policies. It's unimaginable that the same parties that are silent now would have tolerated behavior like that from me or a whole bunch of my predecessors. So, and I say this not on a partisan basis.
Oh, okay.
This has to do with something more precious. Which is, who are we as a country and what values do we stand for?
I know exactly who we are. We're the type that'll go along with a Zionist agenda to bomb and kill babies. And now we're going to march right into a war with Iran because both sides believe that we have to attack them. Yeah, that's who we are. Just gross, whatever. Comrade Misty Putin says, he did do all of that, but he did it with a nice smile and a finesse so liberals didn't give a shit. Just like how Trump is doing it while beating his chest and playing strongman so conservatives don't give a shit. Almost as if both sides are playing you for the same agenda. Yeah, the totalitarian corporate agenda. Yeah, that's the one. That's right. We know what's going on. Let's see what this is. The Great Pretender, instead of representing the people, he gaslighted them with stunts and passe corporate for-profit healthcare and rigged primaries of his party to favor corporate puppets. And we now know that because we know who actually appointed his cabinet. Citibank, Bank of America. There was so many. Yeah, he was just a puppet. That's all they are. Trump is just a puppet. Everybody thinks these are Trump's decisions that are happening out there. They're not. They are absolutely not. Corporate America is steamrolling this. Let's see. Moving on. Oh, yeah. Cory Booker and his 25-hour stunt last week. Did you guys see it? Oh, God. Cory Booker spoke for 25 hours about how Democrats need to do more to oppose Trump. And within 72 hours, he was supporting Trump sending more weapons to Israel. You can't make this up. Yeah, we oppose the Democrats till we don't, or the Republicans till we don't, which is most of the time, right? Even fucking Bernie. We got to give Israel whatever they want. Netanyahu's in town. Yes, we're going to talk about that. How gross is that? He obviously needs more money or something. So Trump declared a tariff war on the whole entire world this last week, which we've talked about this. Some of you think tariffs are good. Some of you think tariffs are bad. I will tell you, we wouldn't be here right now if we had never enacted NATO. Now, or NAFTA, sorry. Well, fuck NATO too, but, I was a protester against NAFTA. I didn't want it. In 1992, I was dead against it. I knew it would take American jobs away. But hey, globalization, we got to, welcome the whole globe. And Trump says the operation is over. The patient lived and is healing. The prognosis is that the patient will be far stronger, bigger, better, and more resilient than ever before, making America great again. What do you guys think? Do you think that we're going to take a little hurt for a little while and then we're going to bounce out of this? Or do you think that we're in deep shit? Because the markets are crashing this morning. They have been since Friday, but a lot of people are predicting that today is going to be like Black Monday, like the Great Depression. And here's a little James Lee? Let's just hear his take on this for Monday morning.
History doesn't always repeat, but it certainly does rhyme sometimes.
Many are already calling today Black Monday or Orange Monday. The markets are in so-called free fall.
But could this story actually be a distraction from something much, much worse? Let's find out by going back in time to the last such Black Monday, which was back in October of 1987.
The market lost 22% of its value, a shocking headline that ended up dominating the news cycle.
But I want to draw your attention to another story that kind of got lost in the shuffle, which is this story right here, U.S. ships shelling Iran on that same day.
Which does beg the question, is this being used as a cover for this? I don't know for sure, but it is kind of convenient, I'll just say that.
And is history about to repeat itself again? Because just a few days ago, the Washington Post reported that the U.S. began sending bombers and warships to the region in preparation of some kind of escalation against Iran.
And of course, the reason for doing so is on behalf of our closest ally, Israel.
Benjamin Netanyahu is in D.C. right now as we speak, discussing a host of issues with President Trump.
One of those issues being Iran, with Bibi supposedly wanting to, quote, discuss a potential strike on Iran's nuclear facilities, according to a senior Israeli official cited by Axios.
Trump, on the other hand, is reported as trying to make some kind of deal to avoid a war, which would, of course, be ideal.
But according to Dan Hodges, a British reporter based in Tel Aviv, he writes, quote, Israelis are not waiting for another attack. They want a reckoning. And also that Trump's trade war may dominate headlines, but it's merely a distraction. A real war is coming.
Is a real war coming? Tell me. I mean, I grew up in a military town. I grew up in Bremerton, Washington, which is one of our biggest shipyards. And I know that we have 2 aircraft carrier striker groups that were sent to the Middle East last week. The Nimitz was on the way out of town 2 weeks ago. So, I mean, when you start seeing the big ships leaving the harbor, you know that something's up. So we knew something was up a couple weeks ago. And yeah, you know, we know that Israel wants this attack on Iran. We've been saying it for a freaking year now. Let's go back to the beginning of October 7th. You know, we told you ultimately this is where the road was going to lead us. You know, they want a complete takeover of the Middle East for their Zionist purposes. And so could this be a distraction? I think it's a win-win either way for them. I think it's a good distraction, but also Trump is playing a big game of roll the dice right now with a lot of countries. Now, I have heard that we did make a deal with Vietnam, and so we will not, so the tariffs, they've made a deal. So we get a lot of cheap goods out of Vietnam. We really do. A lot of the stuff at the dollar store comes out of Vietnam, that type of shit. And they're really not on I checked the list this morning. They are not on the list that's fighting. So basically this is a swipe at China is what I see this as. And Trump says, you know, China's been ripping us off for all these years. And knowing, you know, I don't pretend to understand tariffs. I have read a lot on them. And I think tariffs were probably a good idea 100 years ago, 200 years ago. But with globalization the way it is, because we welcome globalization, I think this could backfire. I think it could backfire on us hard. But I guess only time will tell. And, you know, they're saying, oh, this is going to send us into a recession. Bitches, we've been in a fucking recession. What the fuck are you talking about? This is going to send us into a depression, not a recession. Why will nobody will admit that we've been in a recession? We've been in a recession for a long fucking time now. Yeah, this isn't a recession. This is a depression. You can mark my words on it. Anyway, so now the globalists are crying. Globalism, the era of globalism has ended, says the Treasure Ministry over at the UK. Yeah, they're really upset about it. Do we really want globalism? No, we've been telling everybody for fucking years now that it's about community. It's about local sustainability. And we can't sustain globalization. We absolutely cannot, especially with these greedy corporate overlords who want to suck us dry for every fucking penny that they can get. It would work if we didn't have these assholes in the mix, but we do. So it's not going to work. So am I crying that globalism's crashing? No. I'm really not. I don't know. How about you guys? So polling, you know, redacted, right? They've become really far right if you've watched them. They had 41,000 people vote, and they asked, how will tariffs impact the economy, positively or negatively? And 63% think it'll be a positive thing. 30% say negative, and I said negative. And I don't understand tariffs. That was only 7%. Only 7% had the balls to say they don't understand tariffs. Wow. You know, I'm not shocked by that. I'm not shocked at all. A lot of people do think that if we just suck it up and get through this, that it might be good for America at the end of the day. I mean, and here's the thing. They're thinking it's going to bring jobs back to America. It's going to bring factories back to America. Yeah, but it might bring those factories back to America. But AI is coming in and taking over. So it's not going to be low-wage jobs that will bring back small-town America. No, it's going to be automated Amazon factories. That's what it's going to fucking be. It's not going to help you or I at the end of the day. In my opinion. So inflation's already happening. Like I said, this is not a recession. This is going to be a depression. And here is a woman trying to buy silverware for her very first apartment at a local Target. And check out these prices. This is crazy.
I must be fucking dreaming. I must be fucking sleeping. I'm gonna fucking throw up. What do you mean?
$100, $100, $100. For what, like a
I'm about to
four
spin
set?
and fall and throw a fit.
Yeah, so there you go. $100 for a 4 set of crappy silverware at your local Target, made in China, of course. I'm done being classified. I'm done being a classified information expert. This week, I am a trade and tariff expert. Yes, that's what happens in our country, right? People watch a few TikToks and now all of a sudden they're an expert on whatever's happening in the world. I'm not going to pretend I'm that way. I don't. So there are no tariffs on used goods. Buy secondhand, reduce, reuse, and remake. Yes, the whole time I was watching that TikTok video of that woman freaking out over the prices of silverware, I'm thinking, go to Goodwill. I mean, I hate Goodwill. Go to a thrift shop. Go to a Serenity House or a Habitat for Humanity, whatever local thrift store you have. You could probably buy 4 forks for $1. I'm not even kidding. Like, mine disappear. I don't even know where they go anymore. Like, they just disappear. One day I'll look and I'll only have 4 spoons left in the drawer. I'll go down to the local thrift store and I'll grab me a handful of fucking spoons. I am past the trying to have all batching everything. That was me in my 20s, right? I wanted the Better Homes and Garden Architect Digest type of home when I was in my 20s. Now that I'm an old lady, no, I just want it to be functionable and be cheap. That's all I fucking care about. Life's a bitch, but thankfully, so am I. That's right, so am I. Absolutely thrift store first, Jenny Lynn. Yes, absolutely. And help each other out. Mutual aid, man. Give shit away. Don't just throw shit away. And don't give that shit to Goodwill. I know it's easy to just pull up behind the Goodwill and dump all that shit and get rid of it. Try to find a better secondhand store that actually supports your community, whether it be addiction or housing. We have many in my community that it goes to the local housing situation for the homeless. That, or put it out on the street. Everybody around me puts out boxes with free, you just pull over on the side of the road, you dig through it and you take what you want. I do a family garage sale once a year. And at the end of the garage sale, we literally put everything out. Everything. I don't care what it is, how expensive it was. We don't want it, it goes out on the hill. We have this little hill. And it's gone the next day. I don't care how much crap we put out there. I swear it's gone the next day. And I'm happy that our local community people got to use that stuff and get it for free, So that's mutual aid. We always talk about it. That's mutual aid. Let's see. This is how they're going to fix our economy. Giant kites could pull cargo ships across the ocean and slash their carbon emissions 5,000 years ago. Yeah, I think we already had something like that. Pretty funny. The Rothschilds dropping a global recession as soon as I get my life together. Kind of true. But, that's what they do. They're the Rothschilds. Okay, let's see. I freaking called this. Like, I have been watching old growth and second growth timber leave the peninsula for the last 6 weeks. And I don't understand it. I'm like, what the hell? Where are they cutting this out of? I mean, I've lived on the peninsula 20 some years. I've lived up here my whole entire life in Western Washington. I know when they're cutting old growth, and they're cutting old growth right now. Check this out. They're finally admitting it. So a new directive from the Trump administration will open up more logging in our national forests. And my friend said, called it. I've been seeing so much of the old growth leaving the Olympic pin. One day we will have no trees. Maybe they will be satisfied then. Yeah, I absolutely saw this. I saw it in real time. And thank God they're finally admitting it. They're finally admitting that they're opening up our national forests, because I knew there was no place that those trees could be coming from but our national forests. Which blame Obama for the downfall of our national forests. I mean, Obama's the first one who gutted that shit. Like, we had multiple beautiful national parks close where I live because Obama cut the staffing and cut the funding to the park. So, it's just been a downhill slide ever since then. And corporations will come in and they will own all of this. So Whitney Webb's been telling us about it forever. Russell Brand. Let's talk about Russell Brand. Did you guys hear? He got charged with the R word and SA, going back all the way to 95. Now, I'm not going to say that he's guilty because every person deserves their day in court, right? You're innocent until proven guilty. I think it's going to be kind of hard to prove after 35 years or whatever it's been, 30 years, that he's guilty. But these prosecutors seem to think that they have the goods to prosecute him, so we shall see. But wouldn't you know it, Russell Brand has landed in Israel. Now, didn't I tell you guys his conversion to Christianity was very convenient as soon as these, at the time, they were just allegations, dropped on him. And, you know, more power to him if he's changed his life. You still have to pay for your past. Apologize. Step up and do the right thing. Tell the truth. If you're a true Christian man, that's what I'm saying. But called it. Uh-oh, I just lost a stream. What was it? Was it a YouTube? I don't know. Anyways, it looks like we're back now. It was one of the second streams. So I don't know, Oz. You tell me what just happened. And guess who's good friends with Russell Brand? I had to send this to Oz yesterday. And he says, Neil Oliver should pick better friends. You know, I'm not the biggest Neil Oliver fan, but Oz is. So, hey, Mastermind, good to see ya. Yeah, where else would you go to find our defense lawyer? Yeah, Israel, definitely, right? Alan Dershowitz probably isn't doing anything. The douche could probably help him out. I'll bet you the douche is probably on board to help him out for that. That would be a good choice. And he could just tell everybody he wore his underwear, right? You know, Russell admitted to us that he was a sex addict and, you know, that he did terrible things when he was young. And I did terrible things when I was young too. But if this is the case that women can accuse people 35 years later, I got a whole fucking list of men that better watch out. That's all I'm saying. Like, I just think, come on, if it's been 30 fucking years, time to get past it. Get a therapist and you don't get a big civil case or a big payout. You know, a lot of this is women wanting payouts, I think. Celebrity worship, Ozzy. Yeah, that's why we have Hollywood go F yourself. And we will get there. We got some stuff down there too. The Scottish guy's a Zionist too, Jilly says. Yeah. Neil Oliver, is that his name? Yeah. I've always thought that too. I have always had problems with him. I don't know. Sometimes he says stuff I agree with, but here we have all of the butchers and Israel kills babies. Your meals pay for it. Yep. The Golden Arches are paying for the death of children. And oh my God, it's been bad this week. Have you guys seen it? I mean, we had a reprieve for 6 weeks where we didn't see journalists being burned alive and dead babies being held up by their feet. Like, I saw some dude's amputated leg yesterday. Like, what the fuck? Why are they broadcasting a genocide on X? And they're fucking proud of it. They're proud of it, and they're defended by most of the Christian American right, and it makes me sick. You know, I have a lot of friends that are conservative and they're religious, and I get it. I grew up that way too, and I don't judge them for that. But I just want to scream at them. This is a false prophet Israel. This Israel is not the Israel of the Bible that you think is going to bring back the second coming of Christ. No, quite the opposite. And that's not who they worship anyways. They worship the Baphomet. Do a little research. It's so bad. Anyways, it's just been horrific. So U.S. forces, our numbers are growing slowly in the Middle East. Check this out. After the arrival of new reinforcements, the total number of U.S. forces in the Middle East has now reached 300,000 personnel, including both combat and administrative units. This is just, come on, go away. Okay, there we go.
If I die in the combat zone, if I die in the combat zone, box me up and ship me home. Box me up and ship me home. Pin my medal up on my chest. Pin my medal up on my chest. Tell my mama I done my best. Tell my mama I done my best. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, feels good.
Sorry about that. I didn't know it was so loud. Holy crap. So, yeah, they're chanting about, tell my mama I did my best. I'm going to go die for, corporate oligarchs and come back and be mental and, be heartbroken over the horrific things that I had to do. This is just terrible and sad. This is who we are. So, yeah, they're sneaking the numbers up of our troops that are actually in the area. And that's, we know what they do. But my question is, what the fuck is left to bomb? Look at this. What is left? I'm shocked there's anything left to even attack. I don't know if I'll take a strike for that. I don't know what music that is, but would you stop? Look at that. What's left? What is left for them to even target? I don't understand what could even be left to target after all of this. What the hell are they bombing? What? They're dropping 2,000-pound bombs on tents outside of the Nasser freaking hospital. Are you kidding me? We should be ashamed and horrified as a human species that we not only are allowing this, but it's our money that's paying for these attacks on innocent people. They're not attacking Hamas. They've made it very fucking clear that they're targeting the civilians of Palestine. And it's going to be the West Bank too. They're clearing out the West Bank. Don't forget, Netanyahu stood up there with a map that had nothing left of Palestine. They don't let him escape. They don't let him leave. They just shuffle them around in circles, bombing them. You're not allowed to flee this. Just hold still while we kill you. That is what we've been watching for over a year now. I mean, it's been going on since 1947, but come on. It's gotten so much worse. Moving on. So there is some protesters out there, thank God, and thousands of children's shoes were lined up in Washington, D.C. to represent all of the children killed in Palestine by Israel in Gaza. It would have had to take over the whole city, I would think. And this poor young girl, I'm going to try to read what she says. It kind of goes by fast. Maybe I can slow it down. I'll slow it down. That's what I'll do. No, I can't slow it down. Honestly, I wanted to give you a message to the world. There's a genocide happening here. The occupation uses all of us. The unimaginable killing. We need the world to help us all and stand up. That's what I caught from it. So, sorry. It was hard to read over that blue in her sweatshirt, but how heartbreaking. It's just, are we human anymore? I think we're already have assimilated. I think we have no feelings as a nation anymore, and it breaks my heart. How can we look at such beautiful children and look into those eyes and know that she is going to have a 2,000-pound bomb that our tax dollars paid for dropped on her fucking tit next week? And, her arm will be missing, or, her legs, or half her family will be dead and mutilated in front of her. And she's going to have to live with that horrific memory for the rest of her life. I'm so ashamed of humanity. That big meteor that's supposed to hit us in, 2032? Well, good news. It's not going to hit the Earth anymore. It's going to hit the moon. But, and they could go out there and do the Armageddon AJ thing where they try to blow it up and get it to where it doesn't hit the moon. But they're thinking maybe we should let it hit the moon because, hey, that would be good to study. We could all watch it with binoculars, and it would be good scientifically to see what happens when something hits the moon. I think that's really their train of thought right now on that asteroid that's coming in 2032. Yeah, it's swinging back and coming back. I like just let the fucker hit us. Like, maybe it'll hit the moon and come back and, hit the Earth. Maybe. I don't know. Let's hear what AI has to say about all of this. Check this out. This is AI when asked about Zionism.
I saw a trending topic on TikTok about Zionists, so I asked Chad about it. What are Zionists' truth?
There is no Zionist truth. There is only Zionist narrative. crafted to justify the creation and maintenance of a state through dispossession, violence, and control. The truth is, Zionism is a political movement that began in the late 19th century, not an ancient return. It sought to establish a Jewish state in a land already inhabited, Palestine. The creation of Israel in 1948 required the mass expulsion of Palestinians. Over 750,000 Palestinians were forcibly displaced. This is historical fact, not interpretation. Israel was not an empty land. It was home to a thriving Palestinian society, farmers, educators, artists, families, whose lives were uprooted to make way for a settler state. Zionism depends on ethnic supremacy. It grants rights based on Jewish identity while denying equal rights to non-Jews. That is not democracy. That is apartheid. Palestinians did not cause the Holocaust, but they paid the price for Europe's crimes against Jews. Jews have the right to safety, like all people, but no group has the right to safety through domination, dispossession, or erasure of another people. The truth does not require belief. It is evidenced by history, archives, eyewitness accounts, and the present-day reality of occupation, siege, and apartheid. Zionism cannot coexist with universal human rights. That is the truth.
Oh, AI telling the fucking truth. In some ways, I can't wait for AI to take over because we deserve what's coming. Like, we so deserve it. Katie Helper, what did Katie Helper have to say? You know, Katie Helper, sometimes I agree with her, sometimes I don't, but I do agree with her on this.
If you have any doubts about Israel's concern for Jewish safety and the lives of Jews, which is their whole shtick, just look at the way they treat the hostages. They shot their own hostages. They killed their own on October 7th. They used the Hannibal Directive, and they shot their own hostages. You know, they were holding white flags, speaking Hebrew, and they bombed places that they knew hostages were in. And if they wanted to free hostages and save Jewish lives, they would negotiate. That's what you always do when you want to save the lives of hostages. You negotiate. You do a prisoner exchange, and we know that they know that because they've done it in the past, but they care more about killing Palestinians than saving Jews.
Yeah, and so the ceasefire has ended, and the killing ensues.
And also, how dare they live stream a genocide? First of all, that's unforgivable in itself, right? But then on top of it, they're saying that they're doing it in the name of Jews, and they're weaponizing the attempted extermination of Jews to justify an attempted extermination of Palestinians. It's just disgusting. And I'm also kind of tired of people saying, well, you know, they're not doing exactly what the Nazis did, so it's okay. No, that's not the point of the Genocide Convention. The Genocide Convention wasn't, as long as you don't do exactly what the Nazis did, you're A-okay. And it's interesting, you know, a Jew developed the genocide definition, Lemkin. That's not the point of it, to say as long as you kill not quite as many people as Nazis, as long as you don't use gas chambers. I mean, when are people going to realize that Israel is a menace? It's a terrorist state. It really is a terrorist state. Now, to be fair, so is the United States. But I'd say their ratio of terrorism to non-terrorism in the case of Israel is greater than it is in the case of the United States. And then they live stream a genocide. They say it's in the name of Jews. And then also claim to be combating anti-Semitism. I mean, what's a better way to create anti-Semitism than to kill people, maim them, children, women, civilians, men too, who it's kind of messed up that men get kind of, their lives don't matter. Right. All Palestinian lives matter, but it's pretty messed up to do that. And then say that people are upset about it because they're anti-Semites, as opposed to being upset about it because they don't like to see kids literally shredded into pieces.
Katie had some great points there, and I have to agree with her. This live streaming of this genocide is creating true anti-Semitism. And, you know, at the end of the day, then they can come back and say, oh, my God, you're an anti-Semite. No. I just don't want to see dead babies in my freaking X feed as I'm drinking coffee on Sunday morning that we paid to blow up and kill. So I've been told that I can't play this. I'm sure you guys have all seen it. So Trump tweeted this out on Friday. This is, these Houthis gathered for instructions on an attack. He doesn't clarify what kind of attack, where the attack was. Oops, there will be no attack by these Houthis. And basically you just see a huge bomb blowing this up. Well, it turns out that Yeah, it wasn't a circle to attack people. This is how tribes in Yemen gather. They were civilians, and Trump bombed them while celebrating Eid. I'm not sure what that is because I am not Yemen, but it makes sense to me. Look at this. Look, there's the proof. So gross. So when you know vaccines are poison, I can't say that on YouTube, can I? But you have to do what you've been told because of being blackmailed by Israel. Oh, is that true? Yes, we think that's true. We do think that's true. I brought you a Jimmy Dore. Let's see what this meme says. It says, of all of the enemies that the United States is at war with, none of them have actually attacked the United States. What? They have to attack the United States? Nah. We blow up anybody for Israel.
I've seen some MAGA people again repeat State Department talking points on social media saying, well, Houthis attacked our group of aircraft carriers. And my response to that, why does the United States have a group of aircraft carriers and battleships in the Red Sea in the first place? Why are we there? That would be like Russia having a group of aircraft carriers in the Gulf of Mexico. Why are we doing that? We're doing that because we're the world's terrorists. That's why. And we're there at the behest of Israel. We're the world's hegemon. And we want to pick a fight with Iran because that's what Israel wants us to do. They want us to attack Iran. As I've showed before, the way the people in Washington, D.C. think is, oh, we have to do crisis initiation. That's what they call it. And so they have to think up ways, how they put it, how do we get to war with Iran? This is how these people talk. And I've showed the videos of them saying that outright in front of a camera. How do we get to a war with Iran? And so this is a way we get to a war with Iran. We say that, oh, Iran is propping up people in Yemen, and Yemen is attacking us in the Red Sea. What Yemen is doing is what every country in the world should be doing, trying to stop the genocide that's happening in Gaza. The UN has a responsibility to do that. All the free nations in the world have a responsibility to do that, but they're going along with the Zionists.
Yeah, he's absolutely right. And yes, Kate, that there was an actual video of those people who were gathered in that circle being blown up, and it was tweeted out by our commander-in-chief, President Trump. So you know, but I can't show it on YouTube. Trump can tweet it out to the fucking world as the president, but I'm told I can't show it on YouTube. What upside down world are we living in? Yeah. What's that? Oh, you didn't order a war with Iran? Well, tough shit. Now go die for Israel. Yeah, he gets the fuck off pie for Monday because he needs to fuck off with this shit already. We told you guys though. We did. I know Oz and I told you. We told you. So when this photographer came closer, she gave him a piece of his bread, thinking he was hungry. How ugly poverty is and how beautiful the poor are. That's right. That's right. When you have nothing, you are more apt to give because you understand what it's like to have nothing. I got this from Workweek Normies. Thank you so much. Let's check it out.
But what if you're the department head and Doge wants to know the 5 things that you did? How are you going to keep your job?
I've heard I was characterized. Nobody texting war plans, and that's all I have to say about that. Nobody's texting war plans. It doesn't look like war plans. Attack plans. Let's get started. I know exactly what I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm doing, exactly what I'm doing, exactly what we're directing. Attack plans. I've heard I was characterized. Change the war plan. Title to attack plans.
Oh, that's real good.
They know. They know it's not war plans.
You get it?
Thank you, Workweek Normies. Workweek Normies actually runs those and checks them for me to make sure that I won't take a hit for them. So thank you so much. You know, these guys that Trump's whole cabinet, all these people, even Tulsi and RFK Jr., Kash Patel, they all ran for the last year saying, you know, how we're going to change things here at home. But nobody seems to be focused on anything here at home. It was all on the campaign trail, and now it's all focused on Israel and Iran. So gross. Let's see. Oh, Shmuley hanging out with Booker. 2 best buds united by destiny. interested in Judaism and unwavering lust for power. Yeah. You know, you want to say there's a difference between the Democrats and the Republicans? There absolutely is not. There is not. Candace Owen is changing her tune. It's funny to watch some of the right now kind of realize what they voted for, and I think some of them have buyer's remorse. What do you guys think? Let's hear what Candace has to say about Elon.
I'm pretty sure that he's a part of the transhumanist movement, meaning when are we going to turn everybody into AI movement? Okay, when are humans going to merge with robots? This is what he tweeted this morning. I couldn't even believe it. He tweeted, as I mentioned several years ago, it increasingly appears that humanity is a biological bootloader for digital super intelligence. Ah, yes, God created the human soul so that we could become slaves to tech.
Yeah.
That's it. We're just here to load it up.
However we
have
were
fun,
created.
tech. Yeah. And people just didn't have an issue. They're just like, this is all fine. It's all fine. What has the MAGA movement become? I'm asking a serious question. What
have
has
they always
this
been?
movement become? Because I was down with this about, family values. I was down with this when we were fighting big tech, when we were fighting for speech. Now they're bringing in speech laws. This is getting crazy. And some people just don't have the courage. I guess everybody's just a bandwagon fan. And because Trump was on the bandwagon, everyone just got on the Elon Musk bandwagon, no questions asked. The petty behavior when he was like blocking accounts and taking away check marks because somebody disagreed with him over H-1B visas. I don't even know how you can productively run three businesses if that's your approach to life. When you get angry,
doesn't run
you try to
three
make
businesses.
people suffer, whether it's your baby mama or it's someone who's just disagreeing with you over H-1B visas. That's babyish behavior, and I struggle to believe
the
that he is
right
heading
away.
up three companies if this is how he acts, because you can't unite people around that kind of behavior.
Somebody's getting a buyer's remorse and a taste of what's actually going on out there. Oh, Candace, welcome to the real side. Anyways, more fake news out there. So, this is the stupid shit that the Trump supporting MAGA puts out there, just rank and file. So, a newborn baby was abandoned just 5 hours ago. In the face of this heartbreaking situation, Elon Musk has stepped in to become her guardian, committing to covering all of her expenses for her upbringing. Details in the comments. Fake news. I checked it out. It's fake news. It's totally fake. He doesn't even take care of the kids he's got. Ashley St. Clair has been suing the shit out of him because he cut her support by 60%. We see Grimes out there on X like screaming at him because he doesn't care about his kids and won't contact her. He's got little X out there as his mascot that he leaves behind as he's coming off the stage. It's just sick and gross. Chris, thank you so much for the super chat. Says Candace is now realizing this. He has been pretty open about this, right? We all know he is pro-transhumanist. Like, yeah, he wants us to all get a fucking Neuralink and do what he says, I guess. It's so stupid. If Doge has found billions in fraud and abuse, why hasn't there been any arrests? Seems kind of crazy to me. Yeah. And what's happening to all that extra money? The money that they're saving from shutting down all these agencies and firing people. Where's all that money going? Oh, that's right. To blow up freaking kids in tents. That's where it's going. It's not going to come back to you in your pocket. Your taxes aren't going to get any lower, I promise. Why am I... It must be because the Rumble's not connected. I keep getting errors on my streaming, but I think it's just on the second channel, so I think we're okay. When Trump fans call every red flag 5D chess rather than just admit that he works for Epstein's bosses, that is the reality of the situation, right? Does he get to keep the baby? Yeah, I don't know, Kate. I don't think there actually was a baby. I think that was just some stupid fake news that the Trumpers put out there. 3 a.m. and you and the boys just sent $28 billion to Israel. Oh yeah, look who the boys are. That's right. Doesn't matter what side of the aisle it is. They're all one big club and you ain't in it, as we've been told for many years. And, oh, okay, Pigs of Empire. I've got a couple of different Pigs of Empire. Now, this one obviously is not in the United States. It looks like a Monty Python skit to me, but I thought it was pretty funny. Check this out. We don't have strips like that in America. They have those stupid spiky ones. Why are these buses so narrow? They look like they flip over. And the minivans. It's like somebody took a minivan and squished it. I'm glad they brought their ladders. That was just crazy. I don't know where that was, and I tried to figure out where it was, but I couldn't. That was just, what the hell? Where do they drive shit like that? I don't know. Just weird. But we have more. Let's see. ICE. Let's see. This is from Jimmy, and this is ICE just taking people off the streets, and they're masked. Why are they masked? What does this remind you of? Maybe some brown shirts? Check this out. Now, I don't think it's that cold. There's not even snow on the ground.
Can I see some faces here? How do I know this is the police?
Right?
Seems like bullshit to me. Certainly looks like it.
Free speech in America.
Is the first step. And this is a test. So now if we allow it to happen to people who are here legally, people who are college students here legally, who are legal residents, have all the protections of the Constitution, if we allow it to happen to them, next is you. That's how this works. And that's how free speech works. Free speech isn't for the speech you like, and it isn't for the people you like. Free speech is for the speech that you hate of the people you despise. And you can despise that girl. You can despise Palestinians, all you want. But if you're for free speech, you have to be for their free speech, or else you're not for free speech and you're actually a fascist. That's not overusing the term fascism. That's me letting you know what you're for. You're for the government breaking the Constitution and violating someone's freedom, liberty that is God-given because of another country.
Yeah, once they come for me, once they come for my neighbor, if I don't say anything, then they're going to come for me. And that's exactly where we're at. This is a very slippery slope. And why the fuck are their faces covered? If that's actual ICE, they should just have ICE uniforms on. And the fact that they're arresting protesters on campuses, all Americans should be horrified by this. And it's shocking. It's shocking that we play this back and forth game of the right censoring, the left censoring, and the whole time we're all being fucking censored, and every day our rights are being stripped away from us while we're busy pointing the finger at each other. Do what I say and no one gets hurt. Just obey all the commands and we'll all go home safely. Can you tell me the difference between these two? Corporate sees no difference. Yeah, I see no difference. And concerning new study finds that national poverty is growing faster than officials can build prisons. Uh-oh. We need more private prisons because we are a private prison state here in the United States. That's what we do. And where's Bernie screaming about that? I don't see Bernie screaming about the private prisons anymore. It seems like that kind of dropped off 6 or 7 years ago from everybody's radar. Why is nobody talking about the private prison system and how they profit off of the slave labor of the private prison system? But it's going to get worse. So check this out. This is what the weed smokers of my little local community have bought my local police. So the other night we had a domestic violence situation where a guy locked himself into a travel trailer, and our local police responded with such force that it had the whole town talking. Facebook was lit up like, what in the hell is going on? What, I saw a SWAT tank go by. Like, why is there so many? It was one guy. He might have had a knife, and they had to deploy this. Yeah, this nice little toy. It was the first time they got to use it, so they were very proud of it. They had to post about it. So watch out, criminals in my town, because they got new toys, and the weed smokers paid for all of it. So you're welcome. Very scary. This is just, we live in a police state. They're secretly, quietly growing their police forces. And that's why we call this segment Pigs of Empire, because they are not here to protect and serve you and I. They are here for the corporate overlords and them alone. You know, I was talking with Cold Fusion about this. Back in the 50s, the local cops would have just kicked that door in of that travel trailer, pulled that kid out of there by his head, probably beat the crap out of him on his way to freaking jail. And that would have been that. They wouldn't have needed a fucking SWAT team and a goddamn tank parked outside. Oh, and they had a negotiator too. That's right. They had a negotiator. Like, seriously? Over policing. That's what's happening in our country. We made it to Fee Says. What does Fee say? Where is Fee? Fee is in Iceland, and Iceland suits her. She looks amazing. Fee-Rel Isabel, make sure you go and follow her. She's doing amazing work on the ground globally, and we just love her for it.
Hey everybody, guess where I'm at? I'm in Reykjavik, Iceland. I am here with the Talk Liberation team that has taken on an Icelandic bank for withholding of its funds. This has been ongoing, and if you haven't been following the Talk Liberation team's press releases, you should. Talk Liberation is the team behind Panquake. They are the software development house that is focused on privacy and making sure users are not tracked in any way, shape, or form. Pretty much any other social media platform actually does. They track users, they data mine you. Good. And in the age of surveillance and censorship, Talk Liberation, a group of small independent former activists and software developers came together in seeking to create more ethics in an area where there's pretty much none whatsoever. And I have been following along the court case, and there was supposed to be a hearing, but that was delayed. What Talk Liberation is trying to do is find out the reasons, the true reasons behind why their funds were withheld, which delayed the process of releasing Panquake that so many people are eager to see. So all of these products and all of these things that the Talk Liberation team have been working on have been affected because of the delay in the bank releasing the funds with zero explanation. And now the Talk Liberation team is fighting back in order to make sure that the project and that the people who are behind the organization get the end results that they have been hoping for. We will be following this case throughout the month and into the coming months, because it seems like it will be a long journey and battle for essentially the truth. And one of the team's lawyers who also fought and won a case for WikiLeaks that was similar actually said that he believes that the motivation behind the withholding of funds against Talk Liberation is a political one. He believes that there is a political bias or motive that the bank is acting on, but it is not saying it. So if there is a political reason why the bank decided to withhold funds and shut down services, this is something that can play into what we have been seeing all along. People being discriminated against and prejudiced against and having their accounts closed based on their political beliefs, whether they're anti-Zionist or whether they're conservatives who stood against COVID vaccination mandates. We have seen this time and time again, and it is not only unjust, it is something that is extremely dangerous, because once you cut off somebody's financial livelihood, that can really affect them in many ways. So please watch the space. We'll keep filling you in.
Yay, Fee looks amazing, doesn't she? Holy shit. Being a international reporter has it works with her, man. She is glowing, and now we know what's going on with Panquake. So many of us have poo-pooed on Panquake, like, what the hell? Was that a money grab? What the hell is going on? Well, yeah, it was a money grab by the banks. So I'm glad to get some information on what's going on with Panquake. You know, if you don't know what Panquake is, it was launched. It was going to help us get a browser and ways to not be censored and to share information without them coming and censoring us for it. So I'm so glad she is there. Yeah, Fee is a babe, isn't she? She's even more beautiful in person, I will tell you that. And she's the tiniest little thing too. She's probably like 5 foot, like, and she is nothing but straight spitfire. I just adore her and always will. Here's a funny I brought you guys. I just thought this was funny. I don't know if I'll even take a copyright for this, but whatever, it's funny.
Joseph, tell me about these dreams.
So I'm out in the Rocky Mountains, right? And I am an elk, like full-on elk mode. Antlers, hooves, but I've still got my tattoos. It's me, just elk me. Then this massive elk shows up, just swinging his big old dong. He makes this noise. Like, then he says to me, heard you're into elk meat, bro. I'm packing 12 inches of free-range fury. Derails me. 4 hours, raw. Eye contact the whole time.
Jesus Christ, Joe.
You think I should stop eating elk meat?
I think you should eat beef like a normal damn person.
Come on, that was kind of funny. Jilly Love coming in with some info says Susie Dawson and Bill Binney were the founders of Panquake. I love me some Susie and Bill Binney. If it was not for Bill Binney, we would not know what actually happened to Seth Rich. Because Bill Binney went and he looked at the digital data of the information, the download speed from the DNC in 2016 for the information that was eventually turned over to WikiLeaks by what we believe was Seth Rich, because they tried to say, remember, the Russians had hacked them. It wasn't a hack. It was an actual fucking download from the inside of the DNC, which could be none other than Seth Rich. So Seth Rich, rest in peace. If it wasn't for Bill Binney, we would not know what happened to Seth Rich. I absolutely believe that. New bill passes in Oregon. So Oregon House of Representatives unanimously, well, it didn't pass the Senate yet, but unanimously passes a bill that would let property owners and landlords to evict squatters after 24 hours notice. So they're cracking down on that because, you know, I've done some reports where it takes years to get some of these squatters out. But also I saw some bills passing in Oregon to help the unhoused because Oregon's got a serious problem. The whole West Coast has got a serious problem. I mean, let's face it. I was over in Seattle this week. It's bad. It's bad all up and down the West Coast. And those are all blue states. The Democrats are supposed to care about the people. They're the party of the people, remember? So why the hell have they done shit to help the people? Because they don't care. They have corporate oligarchs. That's why. Summer's almost here. You guys enjoying the weather? I'm loving the weather. I'm trying to get out and get my started. The dirt I had is not going to work. I need to go get something better, so I'm supposed to do that this afternoon. You guys know I have more immunotherapy coming this week, so I feel like I got to get everything done in the next 48 hours because I'm going to be laid up for a couple of weeks. So I got to get the starts in the ground in the next few hours. Let's talk about sunscreen. Sunscreen. Are you wearing sunscreen? I know everybody tells you to wear sunscreen. I don't wear sunscreen. I've never worn sunscreen. I've always been a sun worshiper. I bathe myself in coconut oil and the oils my whole entire life. And you guys can see I've aged pretty well for being a sun worshiper. I don't look like a California raisin yet. I mean, my hair makes me look like the old lady that I am, but hopefully it'll grow out. I can't stand it. Everybody loves it, but not me. Not me. I'm the only one who doesn't love it. So let's find out. Is sunscreen safe for you? Nay, I don't think so.
Now some new research has people a little frightened to use it. There's a new study out that says after just one day, chemicals in sunscreens enter your bloodstream.
Before you grab that bottle of sunscreen, the first thing you need to do is check the ingredients on the back.
They are chemicals and they can potentially be dangerous.
Look at any bottle of sunscreen on the store shelf and it'll more than likely have one of these ingredients.
Avobenzone and oxybenzone are very commonly in your chemical sunscreens.
But a new study finds when you apply sunscreen with those chemicals, along with two other ones known as escamsol and octocrylene, they can absorb into your skin and into your bloodstream.
and more than 80%, 80% of the sunscreen products sold in the USA were now considered potentially unsafe for use. Wanting to protect our skin,
80%.
but risking things like hormone disruption, skin allergies, even cancer. And on the other side, you have mineral sunscreens. And the mineral sunscreens have zinc oxide or some other mineral. And what happens is it reflects the light off of your body. So it's almost like putting a barrier on your skin. The sun's rays hit and then they bounce off. So just from a health standpoint, that's obviously intuitively, they're much healthier than the chemical.
Oh my gosh. So it's just 80% of United States sunscreens, and the good ones are probably freaking $100 a tube. I would say put a fucking hat on and stay the hell out of the sun. I mean, if you burn easy, if you have issues with the sun, just stay the hell out of the sun. But don't slather those poisons onto your body. They cause cancers. And take it from me, you don't want the cancer fight. You absolutely don't. I'm fighting spots of skin cancer. Fortunately, my overall chemo has taken care of a lot of that, and you just don't do it. Don't do it. Let's see. Responding to governor's veto, Idaho legislators pass a new medical freedom bill. Bill will ban the V word, medical diagnosis or treatment requirements by Idaho businesses, schools, and government. Hear, hear. It's about time. It's about time somebody stepped up and said, hey, you don't have the right to tell people what to do with their bodies. You don't. It's freedom of choice. So I'll be following that. Let's see. Did you know that scientists found that sniffing rosemary can increase memory by 75%? Rosemary breaks down the chemicals in your brain known as, God, I'm not even going to attempt it. I don't know, that allows nerve cells to communicate with one another more efficiently. Well, I just planted a rosemary plant just like 3 days ago, so I'm super excited for that rosemary plant to grow up so that way I can keep sniffing it and get my brain back, because I have the worst brain fog from chemo. Sometimes I feel like I can't even do a show because I can't form thoughts anymore, like cohesive thoughts, and it makes me sad because I used to be sharp as a freaking tack, and some days I can't even tell my left from my right anymore. It's sad. But it is what it is. I try my best. So please forgive me if I stumble, because I stumble. Scientists are now converting plastic waste into vanilla flavoring using. It is already being added to ice cream, chocolate, baked goods, candies, beverages, and more. Oh, yummy. Yummy, yummy. Make your own damn vanilla. I mean, I say that as I have imitation vanilla in my cupboard, but it's so easy to make vanilla. Like literally, you just take a vanilla bean, slice it, don't take the seeds out of it, throw it in a jar, and throw some alcohol on there, vodka preferably, and let it sit. And then all of a sudden you have vanilla extract. That's all it takes to make vanilla. So I don't know why it's so damn expensive in this country. Yeah. You're getting some rosemary. I love rosemary on my steak. Like I just take a big old sprig of rosemary and throw it in there and with some butter. Yeah. I'm going to be sniffing rosemary later just to see if it helps my brain. We'll see. This is a little freaky. So iceberg breaks off in Antarctica and reveals tentacled creature beneath. This reminds me of a thing. The Thing. Chanda is pretty hard to tell left and right these days. I know. It really is. We all stumble. Yeah, we do. Well, we made it to Conspiracy Corner. Let's see what conspiracies I have cooked up for us today. And the first one would be Operation Popeye, Vietnam, 1967 and 1972. If we can make it rain, why doesn't we make it rain on the forest fires? Let me know in the chats. Why don't we make it rain over the forest fires? That's a good question. If we can make it rain, why don't we do that? Because, stratospheric injections is all just made up conspiracy theories. That's why. I gotta tell you, I was standing out at the ferry waiting for the ferry the other day. Beautiful, gorgeous blue skies, and then here they come. just crisscross. X marks the spot. I mean, it's so hard to look up and not understand what they're doing. That is not just a plane just casually cruising by. I'm sorry. They turn around when they forget their luggage. I mean, this is just crazy that Americans can't just look up and see what's going on in their skies. So that was conspiracy one. Cell phone tower shut down in elementary school after 8 kids are diagnosed with cancer and mysterious brain clusters. You know, I have been on the front lines of fighting back against 5G for many, many years. I have been called the worst names. I have stood tabling and just had people attack me. You're a fucking idiot. And I'm like, well, you're in love with your phone, obviously, because you're not willing to even look at the data that shows that these things can be harmful to the human body, to our blood, how it kills our blood cells, and you know, how it causes cancers. And so conspiracy, there you are, another oh sweet, man-made horrors beyond my comprehension. Yeah, most Americans will not agree with it because why? Because of their cell phones. So, oh, you guys are gonna like this one. Faith and reason, satanic ritual at German soccer game. Church leaders are silent. Have you seen this video yet? Oh my gosh. Okay, so here it is. This actually happened at a soccer game. It was a giant ritual to call on the Baphomet to come and bless them.
This is the most demonic thing I have ever seen taken place at any sporting event in my entire life. What you're looking at is a demon being summoned in the crowd on top of a satanic pentagram, and there's even demonic chants on the banners below the crowd. What you're looking at is a home game of FC Kaiserslautern, also known as FCK, and they're doing a pre-game ritual, and what you're going to see here is that people are holding up signs, and it creates a satanic pentagram. And as time goes on, you can see the person shifting the camera. On the other side, I believe those words say invincible forever. But then slowly there's a demon that's going to arise. Now, if you look at the bottom, the banners here, they say words in Latin. And if we translate them, let's see what it says. Exaudi nos Lucifer et surge ex abyss sume nimas nostra. Oh my gosh, this says, hear us, O Lucifer, and rise from the abyss, take our souls. What the heck? Now they actually say something else as Lucifer is slowly spawning from the crowd. It says, ad lucem nos Lucifer et surge ex abysso sume animas nostras. Jesus, forgive me for even saying this, but it says, to light us, O star, and arise from the abyss, take our souls. What the heck? I mean, I don't care if their mascot is like a devil or something, whatever the heck it is. This is the weirdest thing I have ever seen. There's got to be some evil energy going on in this game.
Wow, they are just so blatant in your face with it nowadays. Whatever you believe, it's just fucking weird. I'm sorry. It's just fucking weird. I don't care if you worship Satan. Cool, whatever. You couldn't see a Christian group do that and raise Jesus, resurrect him without people losing their shit. Like, it's just weird. I'm sorry, it's weird. It's so in your face blatantly. Fucking weird. Okay, let's talk about the Virginia Gouffre thing. I mean, this whole thing has been weird. Now, I covered it over on The Dive on Wednesday night with Oz and Amber. I brought you guys a little information about it. Of course, we saw the bruising on her face, which was really odd because there was no swelling. How do you get that amount of bruising on your face and have no swelling? If you don't know, she was one of the Epstein accusers. She was one of the ones who accused Alan Dershowitz and Prince Andrew of trafficking. She was trafficked to them by the Epstein, by Ghislaine. And apparently she's had a rough go of it the last year. Her and her husband split up after 20 years, and she says she was abused, but then the restraining order was against her and he got custody of the kids. Now, I'm not judging her. I mean, especially if she, was truly trafficked by these people. I'm sure she's got a hell of a lot of trauma to unpack in her life. But there was just something so suspicious about this whole entire wreck. She posted that she only had 4 days to live, that she was in kidney failure, that she was in the hospital, but they showed her she wasn't in a hospital gown. She had full jewelry on. And then there was no hospitals that reported having her. And then the police reported that the accident was a minor accident, that it was less than $2,000 damage, and that it was basically a fender bender. And the bus driver who reported it, and there was kids on the bus, said he never even saw her in the car, that there was an old lady driving the car. And she is reported to be in a hospital, and apparently she's doing better from what we hear. She's stable, so she hasn't died. The whole thing was just weird. I don't know what this was. Was it a cry for attention from her husband to see her kids? I don't know. It's just weird. When I tell you guys something's weird, there's something weird. And even Jamie Deluxe says this whole thing's getting weirder. So, if Jamie says it's getting weird, it's weird, because Jamie's got his pulse or his finger on the pulse of all this type of shit. So I told you I'd keep an eye on it, and I'm still keeping an eye on it. I don't have any answers for you guys other than it has been confirmed that she is in a hospital, but she's stable. So I don't know. Strange. Very strange. But, Prince Andrew, one of Prince Andrew's, what do they call them? Ladies in waiting or whatever, has taken to Twitter or X to attack Virginia and say she's always been a liar. She made the whole thing up about Prince Andrew. She blew the whole thing out of proportion, blah, 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 blah. So I don't know. I don't know what to believe. Who knows? Anyways, we made it to Hollywood Go F Yourself. Let's see what's in here. Of course, Blake Lively. Oh my God, this woman will never go away. This whole story with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, all it did was expose them for the terrible fucking human beings that they are and the narcissists that they are, right? So she decides that it's a good idea to go do some good PR. And she goes to a donut shop over the weekend. And she doesn't pull her hair back. She doesn't put a hairnet on. She doesn't put a hat on. And she does this promo video. Oh man, you can tell I'm sweating. Chemo sweats. They just come out of nowhere. Where her hair is hanging down over the freaking donuts. And it's just gross. So anyways, the local health department gets hundreds of complaints, and now they're investigating the donut shop. She needs to just stop doing stupid stunts like this. Here's a little video about it.
Blake Lively, the acclaimed actress known for her roles in Gossip Girl and The Age of Adeline, has recently come under scrutiny following a visit to Rise Donuts, a popular donut shop in Connecticut. The visit, intended to support the local business, quickly turned controversial when fans expressed concerns over hygiene practices after Lively was seen serving donuts with her hair down, which many deemed inappropriate for food handling. Critics took to social media to voice their disapproval, highlighting that food safety regulations typically require food handlers to tie back their hair to prevent contamination. The backlash intensified as some speculated that Lively's appearance at the shop was a misguided attempt to divert attention from her ongoing legal troubles with actor Justin Baldoni. Lively is currently embroiled in a lawsuit against Baldoni, alleging sexual harassment and defamation, while Baldoni has countersued for $400 million. Despite the criticism, sources close to Lively defended her actions, asserting that her visit was a genuine effort to support a friend rather than a calculated PR move.
Whatever. So gross. Whatever. We know better. That was a PR move, but extra glazed with hair. Just stupid. It's just, Hollywood is so dead and nobody gives a shit about star worship. And we see these people for the narcissistic freaking fools that they actually are. Yeah, that was gross. And did you guys miss it? Get yours. So, mommy, can I please get an overweight middle-aged man action figure? That's right. You can get a Jack Black action figure. And apparently a lot of people are talking because they made it pretty realistic, and he's got the dad bod going on, and look at it. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny if you ask me. So yeah, get your Minecraft. Apparently this is to promote the Minecraft movie. I don't know. I don't want one. Anyways, we made it to me, Mally, and that's good because I'm burning to the ground right now. Let's get through Meme Alley. So the perfect photo bomb doesn't exist. Yes, it does. Oz must have dropped this one. Look at the dude's ears. That's too funny. Thank you, Oz. That was funny. And they upgraded their bodies but downgraded their minds. Oh my God. Do they all look alike? Is it just me? All of Hollywood looks alike now. Hey, Jax. What's up, Jax Page? Glad you could join us. I shouted you out at the beginning of the show. Russell Brand has been charged, by the way. Apparently, yeah, we covered it at the beginning of the show because he's hiding out in Israel now, of course. And yeah, we're going to keep an eye on that. We call that like, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years ago. They all look alike, all of them. It makes me sad because my kids are doing that shit now. Botox and fillers and like, that's why they all look alike, is because they're all shoving the same shit in their faces. I think Oz dropped this one. On days I was really stressed out, I chain ate a 3-pack. I used to buy these, the candy cigarettes. They just tasted like chalk almost, right? They were a chalky, yeah, I don't even know. Did they even have any flavor to them? I don't think they did. And a wise woman once said, let that shit go. Just let it go. It makes life so much easier if you just let that shit go. I learned that a long time ago, especially on social media. Like, I'll pick up my phone to attack somebody and be like, oh, you're so fucking... And then I'll just be like, you know what? If I answer this and I set this person straight, I'm going to get 5 responses and I'm going to have to respond to all those responses. And that doesn't include all the other idiots that are going to pile in on it. And some days I just don't have the energy for that. So I let that shit go. Take my advice. It's so not worth it. Don't fight with people online. It's just not worth it. And fresh guacamole versus guacamole 5 minutes later every damn time. What chemical are they putting in those little guacamole cups that you could buy, like the 6-packs at Costco? Because that shit stays green forever. It makes me wonder. Because when I make guacamole, that shit's black within 5 minutes. I'm not even kidding. You can put a little lime juice in it, and that will help it from not turning black. But maybe lemon juice probably works too. Probably any acidic acid. I know you can put it on apples, and it'll stop them from rusting too. But it's so true. Why isn't the house clean since you're home all day? Well, why aren't we rich since you work all day? Well, that's a kickback to the 50s, isn't it? Because that's not the way my household works anymore. Yeah, no, it hasn't been that way since like the 90s for me. Did you guys know that Easter is on 420 for all of you reefer smokers out there? So when you realize Easter and 420 are aligning in 2025, planet puff it and prosper. That's right. It's going to be a super good Easter this year. We don't really celebrate Easter per se in my family. We kind of do more of a spring, like, yay, it's spring, the end of winter type of thing. So I did get a big ham last week, and we are planning a family get together. Family get togethers mean a lot more to me and my family right now that I've been diagnosed, because we don't know how many more I'll make it to. So I'm really blessed that my family has really stepped up. And last week, like, my son called me, he sent me a message. He was like, Mom, I really miss you. Can we get together? So we went and did lunch together. I'm spending a lot more quality time with my family, and it's so important, guys. You never know. You could get hit by a buzz like Virginia Gouffre. You never know. It could happen. So love your family, spend time with them. My generation had to parallel park land yachts to get a license. Oh my God. My aunt had this same exact car. I'm not kidding. And she drove it like a fucking sports car. I'd be grabbing the dash like, oh my God, what are you doing? Yeah. Like, you could put 5 bodies in that trunk that was so big. I kind of miss the land yachts though. I kind of do. Cars seem to be better. They were just better back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. I don't know why. The colors were better. They were built better, that's for sure. My mom had a 75 Maverick, and she hit like an 85 Escort. It totaled that damn Escort because that Escort was just made out of fiberglass, and her Maverick, which was made out of steel, had like one little dent in the front of it. Like, yeah, you could survive a wreck back then. They're like, how did we survive? We didn't wear seatbelts. Because the cars were made out of actual steel. That's how. And let's see her profile pic on Facebook. Oh, when you see her at Target, I am so guilty of this. Well, not really, because I don't really have any profile pics up right now. I mean, I have like little animated things, but yeah, there'll be days when you see me at the store. I wish we had a Target, but and I will have no makeup on. Like I'm still in my pajamas. Some days I just got to run to the store and not give a shit that I'm not in full hair and makeup. So yeah, you could work on your own car back then. Absolutely. Did you guys see the video of Tucker Carlson with his truck? He's showing that he has like, I don't know, it's like a 75 Chevy and it doesn't have a radio. It has no way to be shut down. He's like, I'll still have a car when, the income's down and they can't shut me down. Machete. I look like Machete when I go out shopping. For sure. That's funny. And cognitive dissonance is when poor people demand higher taxes. Yes, indeed, it is. Please don't do that. Please don't demand higher taxes. Very sad story this last week, and I'm sure you cat lovers out there saw this. So the Happy Cat Sanctuary loses owner and 100 cats in a house fire. Community fundraiser for the 200 cats that survived. His name was Chris... what was his last name? It'll come to me like 10 minutes from now. But this man lost his son, I want to say in a car accident or some kind of vehicle accident. Maybe it was a motorcycle accident. And he dedicated his life to saving cats on Long Island. And he had a sanctuary. I think a propane tank might have blown the last Wednesday or Thursday morning, and he kept going back in and rescuing cats and going back in until he didn't come out. And it's a huge loss to the community. The community is heartbroken. They're fundraising. If you're an animal lover, I'm sure you already know about this story because it was big freaking news. And so many of the cats were injured. They're at the vets. There's people fostering them. There's so many that needed places to go. Just very heartbreaking story for the cat loving community out there. It was so sad. So sad. It was an ammonia fire. Oh, Mastermind. What a sad story. I mean, these cats are here. Do you know there's 80 million stray cats in the United States right now? 80 million. I was shocked. 50 to 80 million is the statistic. I was shocked when I read that. Like, holy crap. So I have adopted 2 outside. One I've been letting come in the house. The other one I haven't, but they're beautiful and they have no home. And I feed them and I love them. And I need to trap one of them. Well, that's a third one. It's got mange really bad, but he's very feral and I can't get near him, but I need to trap that one and get him to a vet. I have a sponsor that's willing to pay for the vet bills for it, but I got to get him trapped so I can get him in and get him helped out, because my heart breaks for these, and they're called stray cats. If the cat is living under your porch or in your yard, it's not really a stray cat. It's a yard cat is what they call it. So, trap, neuter, and release back into the same places where you trapped them is the most humane thing that we can do. That will help cut down the cat population. That's all we can do. There's so many cats out there that are waiting for rescue, that are waiting for foster homes, that are in pounds, that are in shelters. The best we can do for these cats is to stop the reproducing of them. It's so sad. And let's see, what's the difference between cats and dogs? Cats don't work for cops. That's right. My cats aren't narcs, that's for sure. And what do we got? We got Beauty and the Boomer on Saturday. I hope you guys will join us. Let's see what Oz has got queued up for us for Saturday. Oh, nice. One hit wonder. Nice hair. Nice. So that will be for Saturday night's Beauty and the Boomer. So make sure you join us. We are now doing a dive. We are back at the dive bar every other Wednesday night with Miss Amber King. If you've been following us for many years, we used to host a show called The Dive, where we just hang out on Wednesday nights and we don't bring as much content. We bring, I think each of us bring maybe 2 or 3 segments each, and we just go back and forth. It's like a dive bar. Yeah, we have fun, and it's good to be back with Sister Amber. Love her opinions, love her information, and you get a little pushback. Amber and I and Oz don't always agree on things, and so it's worth the watch to see what we disagree on. Persian cats are hilarious. I gotta tell you, my little kitty Eden, you guys know my little cat Eden, she's a little calico tabby mix. She was a Norwegian ship cat. Her families were Norwegian ship cats, so they're really tiny. I call her Tiny Paws. She's like a forever kitten. I mean, she's just tiny. She has been such a godsend to me while I've been so sick. If I'm in bed, she's in bed with Mama. Like, that cat is my cat. She is my shadow. She follows me around. I can't go to the bathroom without her. Like, when you're down and you're sick, it's so nice to have a nice, warm, cuddly, little companion sitting next to you, making you feel better, giving me loves and loving on me. I'd be so lost without my little Eden. I would be. And so you guys know I have immunotherapy this week, which means I'm going to be struggling for the next 2 weeks, but I'm going to do my best to make it to Beauty and the Boomer and to be back next Monday. We're getting back into the grind of things. Life's kind of settled down, and I'm focusing on the yard and the garden as much as I can and getting outside and getting moving, and can't believe how stoved up I am from a winter of laying in bed. So I try not to overdo it because you guys know that the cancer was in my L1 in my spine. And so if I go out and I work too much on the yard, oh my God, my back will just freaking kill me. Like, it spazzes out and I can't move. So I have to limit myself. Like, okay, you can have 1 hour in the yard and then you got to come in the house. So yeah, I hope to feel better too. If you guys want to help me out, I don't have an active GoFundMe up, but I'm going to build a new one now that I'm on Social Security. I can make a limit to so much. So because so many people prefer GoFundMe to help me out, and I'm really hoping to do a camping trip or something this summer, and I'm on a very limited income now, so your guys' help really helps to facilitate me being able to just do a few things, or get the things that I need, like the extra medications, because I'm still taking the fenbendazole and the ivermectin, because I don't care what the doctor says. A lot of people say it helps, and I'm going to keep taking it. So I have a PET scan here in a week or two, which I haven't had one since January. That'll tell me if the cancer is growing, if it's spreading, what's going on. And then I have a brain scan the first week of May, which will tell me if it's moved into my brain or not. So we're at the monitoring stage. We monitor every 3 months, and I do the immunotherapy every month until something changes. So once something changes, I've already done the first line of chemotherapy, and if things change, then we'll move into the second line, and then there's a third line. Normally, if you hit the third line, you're on your way to hospice. So I always will keep you guys updated on what's going on. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty strong. So, I mean, I get nausea and I get headaches and I get body aches, but I have lots of medication to handle all of that, and I'm just doing the best I can to get through each day, just like you are. But if you want to help me out, there is my PayPal. PayPal is probably the best way to help me out right now. Or you can buy me a coffee over at buymeacoffee.com/trailerpark, or Venmo and Cash App. Those always work well too, if you're into those ones. Anyways, I think we're almost out of here for today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. It's so good to be back with you. I missed you all over the last 2 weeks. Jenny Lynn, Grapentine, Catalytic Centaur, you made it. Good to see ya. Kate hanging out for the whole show. Lawrence, good to see you. Desert Mantis, what's up? You big baller. Desert Mantis is a mod on a lot of big channels. Good for you. And the Taco Kid from Alamo, you hung out the whole show too. Good to see you. Steve Wolfbrat still hanging in there. And Jax Page actually made it over. Good to see you, Jax. Chris Foster. Is it daytime over there? Jody, thank you so much. Love, love, love that song. Yeah, that's a good one-hit wonder over there. Chiron, good to see you. Natalie Williams still hanging out. Cats and dogs rule, or cats rule, dogs rule. Cats do rule. I do like the puppies too, though. I'm just an animal lover. I mean, we had so much fun at the game farm with the llamas. I love the llamas. Oh my God, those big old pretty eyes with their eyelashes, like, and the marmies. They have marmies. They're like a little prairie dog. They stick their head up and they like look around. Oh my God, they're just so freaking cute. They had a zebra. What else did they have? Yaks. The yaks are kind of cool. They're kind of big. Let's see. Peacocks. They had a white peacock, beautiful white peacock. Like, oh, I just got to see so many cool animals this weekend. They had a tiger and a lion and some cougars and a lot of deer. Some little like deer. I don't know what they were, but they were kind of cool. They were a small deer. The elk were awesome. They're just a big, I love their big eyes. And then of course the buffalo. Oh my God, those things are just massive. Their heads are just so massive. When they stick their head in your car with their big ass black tongue and they just slobber everything. Oh, it's so gross. Hey Robbie, what's up? Good to see you, Robbie Burns. Trying to catch everybody that I didn't shout out. Lawrence, good to see you. Thanks for saying I looked good. I'm trying. I hate my hair, but it's growing out. Everybody tells me it looks good, but you know, I was gonna make a pop, like a Funko Pop when we went to Funko Factory, but nothing looked like me. I don't feel like myself till I get my long hair back. So I just said no, I'm not gonna make one. Hey, Kill Your E-Grey Ghost. Good to see you too. If I didn't shout you out, I'm sorry, but thanks for joining me this morning. And I'm sorry that the Rumble didn't launch. Oz and I will figure out what the hell is going on with all of these damn restream platforms. Anyways, Oz fixed us up a great closer this morning, and it is a amazing cover of Danzig's Mother. Oh yeah. It is by Lizzie. Apparently she's touring, and a lot of these artists that I bring you are touring, and they're small artists. I always try to bring you guys small artists because that's what I want to do, is introduce you guys to great music that I'm coming across on YouTube. And she's an amazing artist. So that's what this is. I am out of here for the rest of the day. I'm probably going to go take a nap, but then I'm going to go play in the dirt. And I hope you get out there and play in the dirt, in the sunshine too. Enjoy the spring. And I will be back for Beauty and the Boomer on Saturday night. And I hope to see you guys again. I'll see you definitely next Monday. And remember, you're always welcome in the trailer park. Let me find the mother. There we go. There we go. Okay, now I'm out of here. Have a great day.
Tell your children not to walk my way. Tell your children not to hear my words, what they mean, what they say. Mother, can you keep them in the dark for life? Can you hide them from the waiting world? Oh, mother, father, gonna take your daughter out tonight. Gonna show her my world. Not about to see your light, but if you wanna find hell with me, I can show you what is high. Till you're bleeding, I'm not about to see your light, but if you wanna find hell with me, I can show you what is. Mother, tell your children not to hold my hand. lie. But if you wanna find hell with me, I'm gonna show you what it's like. Till you're bleeding, I'm not about to see your light. But if you wanna find hell with me, I'm gonna show you